Hello and welcome to the beautiful Irish Hills of Michigan for the Racecraft Grand National Series Michigan 160. I'm James Watson, joined as always by my broadcast partners, Ty McIntosh and Dave Huckleberry. Ty, I'm going to come to you first. This is going to be a good one. This is I believe the series' first trip here in about a year or so.
Yeah, it hasn't been on the schedule since 25A. It's been off and on, especially I know it was in both 2024 season races, but it's been off and on. I think these guys are probably excited to see it back. I know one guy that should be in the field tonight, especially Mr. Tate Lytle. He's won 3 of the last, all the way back to 2019 B, so he's going to be looking pretty fast tonight, and I'm sure he's going to have something to say about it.
Absolutely. It's going to be one heck of a show. Michigan always seems to put on a really great race with these Xfinity cars. It's going to be draft locked. It's going to be tight, chaotic, but still, thankfully, hopefully not as chaotic as Daytona. As we're getting ready for qualifications to just about wrap up right this second. First, we'll go ahead and talk about the championship standings. The point leader, Blake Reynolds, is, from what I see, not in the session right now. So we might be getting a huge shakeup at the top of the charts. Scott Eckridge in second with Tate Lytle, Jonathan Cutlip, and Tommy Ryan sitting in the top 5. Ryan Borges, Chris Wright, Scott Crump rounding out the top 8, as I think the championship standings are starting to glitch out. But we're going to go ahead and head over to the starting grid for tonight's race. The pole sitter, the number 11 of Matthew Weeks with Trey Eitzen right next to him on row 1. Tyler Popp in the 13, next to Scott Eckridge in the 29 on row 2. The 5 of Jonathan Cutlip with the 90 of Scott Crump on row 3. Jesse Racimus in the 70 and Brandon Wilkinson in the 26 round out row 4. And 21 of Ryan Borges and the 9 of Jay Connor round out the top 10.
Starting 11th, Gavin Higgins in that KOR Motorsports number 20 Chevrolet with Michael Hosick on his outside with the covered bridge number 24. Row 7, Austin and Amnett in that number 60 Bojo machine for Lake Norman with his teammate Frank Fody, P14.
Sorry, guys, I don't have a way to fast forward the grid, so
we have enough time
catch up a bit.
Let it rip.
Yep. We're back to the 70 of Jesse Racimus and the 26 of Brandon Wilkinson. Back to Ryan Borges and Jay Connor. And once again, take it away, Ty.
All right, let's try this again. Gavin Higgins starting 11th in that KOR Motorsports Chevrolet. Michael Hosick to his outside in the covered bridge 24 Toyota. A couple of Lake Norman teammates, row 7, Austin and Amnett in that Bojo number 60, and Frank Fody in that Bite Size Sports number 41 machine. Field Up Racing's Justin Vandermarl and Harrison Talon. A couple more teammates make up row number 8 and 15th and 16th. And row number 9, Paul Mikolajczyk and Tommy Ryan, Channel 199 Sim Racing. And row 10, Chad Frankenfield and Andrew Rucker, some guys with some history. They're going to start 19th and 20th.
Row 11, we have the 3 of Jeff Ryan and the 25 of Seth Rawls. 28 of Jacob Adams and the 2 of Jeff Green on row 12. Row 13 features the 31 of Gerald Campbell and the 54 of Hunter Smith. Tom Bourne in the 16 and Gavin Hibbs in the 95 on row 14. Rounding out the top 30, the 8 Chris Wright and the 08 of Randy Yoakum.
31st, Leighton Norgard. 32nd, Josh Adams, Abbott Motorsports and Shift Esports respectively. Sam Boutwell, P33, next to Mark Rebelos in the number 99. And rounding out your field, Rob Mooney, P35. Tate Lytle, starting from the tail end of the field. He's going to have a lot of work to do, but starts 36th.
Yep, Tate Lytle looking to go for the first challenge. We'll see how that's going to work out for him. But as we see the pace car get ready to make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road, Matthew Weeks is going to lead us to the restart zone. Green means go, and we are underway at Michigan. Good jump from the front road. Trey Eidson trying to maintain the outside of Matthew Weeks, not having a whole lot of help from behind, so we barrel on down into turn 1. Eidson
Tyler Pop.
Go on, Ty.
I think I'm having internet issues. It's been going red for a second. You were breaking up, but Tyler Pop looking to go to that third lane on the bottom there. Nothing coming of it with the cold tires, so he thought better of it. Still side by side, though.
Yeah, as you see Trey Eidson trying to hold that middle lane. The middle lane always seems to be dominant here in passing at Michigan, and that's going to help him lead lap 1 at the line. Matthew Weeks has his work cut out for him trying to get back to the lead of this race. But here comes Scott Eckridge going way up high trying to make some speed. As Eidson's going to clear Weeks for the lead. Now here comes Eckridge trying to follow his Shift Esports teammate through. There goes Pop lining up. Matthew Weeks has got to be careful, otherwise he might be getting freight trained here in the early going.
Scott Eckridge was all the way up on that wall. I mean, he was using every bit of racetrack. He said, I paid for it, I'm going to use it. And you saw the huge run he got down the back straightaway that put him clear of Matthew Weeks. Weeks is still in trouble as Eckridge is going to have a run on his teammate. Matthew Weeks now under pressure from Tyler Pop, who's going to take the inside lane, and he's going to toss it in there. I think he might just about clear Matthew Weeks.
Yeah, look at the momentum the 29 is keeping, ripping the lip, and he's going to get the spot. Meanwhile, Chad Frankenfield got the wall a little bit off of turn 4. Chaos is starting to happen in the midfield, but we see Matthew Weeks go to the inside of Trey Eidson, pulling the slide job. He's going to clear the 27 back up into P2. Eidson shoving Matthew Weeks along, trying to keep Tyler Pop at bay now.
Ooh. Weeks going to sit it in. Ooh. Pop's going to get loose. These guys are elbows out tonight already. It's lap 4. Caution to the wind. They don't care about the stage points right now. They are elbows out, fighting for everything here.
Yeah, and that's something we have to keep an eye on. It's hearing a lot of people talk about in practice how loose the car is, and we're already starting to see that a decent bit with these drivers having to really work. As you see, Eidson getting sideways just as I say that. We're almost 3 wide for P2. Weeks able to shut the door in front of Eidson, but not able to hold off Pop as he's going to try to send it on down into turn 1. Not going to be able to make the move. Meanwhile, these three have really started to make some ground on Scott Eckridge. All of a sudden, that extreme high line is not working for him.
Open the door for Weeks. Him running that high, especially on entries, opening the door for Weeks to get closer and closer to him on exit. He's not going to be too close to him here, and he's going to have a little bit of a run down the front straightaway, but Scott is only using that top side. He's right up there on that wall, pretty much 4th lane in my opinion.
Oh, we're wrecking it! We got Frank Fody spinning through the infield. No caution as of yet. Frank able to get it back going the right way. As you see, they were 3 wide off of turn 4. And
ooh,
contact from the 2 sends Frank spinning on down, doing a little bit of agricultural racing right there.
I think he was lucky enough to avoid the black with the pit exit there, so could have been a lot worse for Frank. No damage.
Yeah, I think he just didn't realize that the Jeff Green still had the nose right there and tried to hop down to the bottom on the front straightaway, and around he went.
Hosick, I think that is way out of shape.
Yeah, they were starting to scatter there in the midfield, like you said. Meanwhile, here comes Jonathan Cutlip. 5 up into P2, challenging for the lead out of nowhere. See Cutlip trying to side draft as much as he can. Can Cutlip pull the slider? He's not thinking. He's not thinking to do it. Just hold into the middle, and that's going to work. He doesn't need the slide job. Jonathan Cutlip to the lead. Whoa! And getting a bump from Eckridge. Getting a 5-car all kinds of sideways down the back straightaway.
Looking at the point situation, especially with Blake Reynolds not being here, these guys are all up front in the points. Scott Eckridge, Jonathan Cutlip, Tyler Popp, these are all guys that are in the top 10 that could cut into the Blake Reynolds gap pretty big. And these guys are racing really hard. So, like, it's just, man, there's a lot of give, or a lot of take and no give right now, and these guys are just putting on a show.
Absolutely. Because, you know, you get more points for winning than finishing second. They just have to remember that you get more points for finishing second than you do finishing 33rd, but that's neither here nor there. Meanwhile, you see Tyler Popp tried to stick the nose to the inside of Cutlip as John was going down into the corners. We're going to be almost 3 for the lead. Popp tried to figure out somewhere, anywhere to go.
Eckridge has still not abandoned that top side groove, and Cutlip's going to wash up a little on exit. Not too close, though. I thought it was going to be a lot worse with how that started going, but other than that, I mean, I'm curious to see the tires on Eckridge's machine. I know everybody else is trying to bottom. You see everybody's kind of single-filed out right now, and just as I say that, here comes Tyler Popp with a huge run to the inside of Jonathan Cutlip. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead momentarily. Ooh.
Oh, Scott almost got the wall a little bit there. Oh, he got the wall right there. That's for sure. You know, you mentioned the tires, but I'm really curious because, you know, the way I've always understood it and operated, running the outside helps tire wear. And, like, you've never thought to run the very outside at Michigan because it never really seemed like it worked as well as, say, Fontana, for example. But Scott is able to get it to work phenomenally, so you wonder if it might not necessarily be taxing his tires too much running this extreme outside lane. In theory, maybe. I don't know.
I think to most of your point there that it would probably be true that it's maybe not as bad on the right front, but the right rear, I would say, watching him kind of scoot around and how he's wiggling in the center of the corner, I think that right rear is taking a little bit of a beating as he's kind of having to arc it down the racetrack and expect it to get loose off corners. Jonathan Cutlip with a huge run there, but nothing going to come of it. With that back straightaway momentum, they've pulled a little bit on Tyler Popp, who's now been passed by Matthew Weeks, but definitely a possibility there.
Yeah, and that is something to keep in mind, like we said, with how loose the cars are. That building all that right rear heat and wear may be the opposite of what you want to do, which is the opposite of what you tend to want to do on a weekly basis, considering the fixed setups tend to be more tighter. Where this, there, wall shot from Eckridge, and that's going to allow Cutlip to clear into the lead. Meanwhile, we have got a lot of big scraps here in the midfield. Everyone throwing haymakers at each other. Tate Lytle taking it 3 through the exit of turn 4. See, trying to get by Wilkinson and Gavin Higgins. Gonna run out of momentum. Here comes Tate sending it down into turn 1. He's gonna clear both of them. Trying to come up in front of the 20. He's not going to be able to. Higgins holds on, and now Tate's going to be 3 wide in the middle. Here comes Wilkinson back. Whoa, Brandon trying to side draft the 56. Higgins clears and trying to run away from what he sees in his mirrors. They lose one Gavin. They gain the other in this battle. Here comes Hibbs, who's dragging along Higgins' teammate Jay Connor and Chad Frankenfield.
Keep in mind, folks, Tate Lytle was 36 when we started this race about 15 laps ago. He's already broke his way into the top 10. Oh, Josh Adams!
My goodness! What? Hey! I think you dropped something there. What? What?
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, I remember when Jeff Green did this in the Cup Series a couple seasons ago. Oh, contact from Andrew Rucker, and oh no! Oh, and look at that! Just yeets the right front. Oh my God! And it's still rolling. It picked a fine time to leave me loose, wheel. Oh man, Ty, I've heard burning the right front off of it. I've never seen burning the right front off of it like that. That is a sight to behold right there. Mother of mercy.
I've never heard of the bash it into the pit wall and then throw it about 150 feet. No, I can't say I have either. As Jonathan Cutlip has taken the lead here on lap 16. We're halfway through stage 1. Matthew Weeks now able to get around Scott Eckridge for P2, and I think that right rear tire wear we're starting to see really bother him. Somebody who's not dealing with tire wear, we talked about it right before the Josh Adams accident. Tate Lytle started 36. He's up to 8, so he's up 28 spots from where he started already.
As if the Scott Crump tried to make his way up into the top 4, trying to get to the outside of Tyler Pop, not going to be able to do it. See Eckridge continuing to run that lane. He has not moved from that whatsoever. See,
he's
Jay
committed.
Connor going
I'll give him
all
that.
the way. Yeah, and it's impressive. Like I said, I've never seen anyone make that lane work here at Michigan at all. Like, you run that high, you're going backwards, and he was able to get to the lead using it. So that is incredibly impressive what Scott Eckridge is able to do tonight. See a little further back, Tate Lytle continuing to make his way up to the front, up to P7 right now.
Ooh. Tate all the way to the bottom underneath Jesse Racibus looking for another one. I'm not seeing any signs of... Well, I was going to say that. Tate's going to get a little sideways. I was going to say I'm not seeing any signs of uncomfortability in the 56. He's kind of going wherever he needs to go, but it's going to get loose underneath the 70, so that's going to send him back just a little bit, but I don't see Tate Lytle wavering to anybody right now.
Yeah, that is just... I mean, I know that this is Tate Lytle we're talking about. You know, we're all familiar with his skill set, some of the drives, but, like, going from the last row of the grid up into battling for the top 5 in 20 laps at Michigan is unbelievable. This is not always the easiest place to pass.
And, I mean, you look at his sheet, right? I talked about it pre-race. He's won at least 3 of these last couple races. You see Matthew Weeks all over Jonathan Cutlip, side-by-side for the lead. Tend to go in the stages. Weeks going to get clear, not quite. Going to be side-by-side down the front straightaway.
And now what Scott Eckridge do is these two are side by side, slowing each other up. He likes to stay in line, continuing to run his lane.
Oh, he's going to get loose on exit. Weeks on the yellow.
Scott. Oh, Scott is really trying to keep the throttle into it, trying to get back to the outside of Cutlip. Oh, he almost got him.
Feels like he's getting higher and higher. Here comes Tate Lytle, up to 4th now. He might win the dang stage. I mean, last to first challenge in 80 laps, sure, but Tate putting it in a 30 lap gap is kind of insane.
Like, that is just unfair.
See Scott Eckert still fighting that right rear. He's wiggling off the corner. So is Jonathan Cutlip. Tate Lytle is perfectly fine with using the bottom, though, but I wonder also in Scott's case, if he goes down low at this point with how hot that right rear is and he's having to put more wheel into it, that might just make his situation a lot worse. So I don't think he can really do anything else right now.
Yeah, his tires are pretty used to that extreme high lane.
So I don't think Tate's going to quite get clear of him here. He just might. Scott got a little loose there at the center. Not quite. Scott with another huge run down the front straightaway. It's going to keep him side by side. They're not really losing too much time to the cars in front either. I think that's just a case of the extreme tire wear that everybody's feeling right now. About 7 to go here in the stage.
See, meanwhile, got a big battle between some of the shift cars for the last of the stage points. Eidson and Ryan Borges going at it. Right now, Borges is ahead of his teammate, holding on to that final point, as here comes another shift car, Brandon Wilkinson. Trey Eidson, you talk about tire wear, he is struggling with his. He was at one point battling for the lead about 20 laps ago, and now he's just trying to hold off for dear life for stage points. As you see, big sideways for Cutlip. Jonathan dirt tracking it off of turn 2.
Now
man,
it's going to put Tate Lytle in a position where these guys had history. If you remember Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, Weeks made a mistake, hit the apron, and it might have doored Tate. And they had their little scuffle there on the front straightaway. Tate kind of ended the race to Matthew Weeks, and Weeks is going to get loose here. I don't think we're going to see too much come of that, but I wouldn't expect Weeks to waver to him unless he knows that he can't do anything about it. Right now, I'd have to say that Matthew Weeks probably has something to say about it.
Also, speaking of Las Vegas, you remember that we got several meatballs for rear tire wear, including the 5 of Jonathan Cutlip, who was pretty sideways a lap before. So I feel like that the Lytle Weeks battle might not be the only Las Vegas similarity here, as we're replay of Gerald Campbell. Oh no, Gerald! Somehow able to hold on to it.
Thought he had a little too much of the Josh Adams look going on there for a second. I thought we were destined to have another one, but he's able to hang on to it. Keeps it easy.
See Tate starting to drive away from Weeks, and it's with everyone starting to struggle with tire wear, the fact that Tate has been driving from the back to the front and still has the best looking tires of anyone in the field. That is witchcraft, honestly.
I mean, at the rate that he passed all those cars too, like it's like I was saying earlier, if you go last to first in 80 laps and you're kind of gradually building towards it, that's awesome. But to do it in 28 laps and to have the best tires underneath you and you're not really wiggling as much and you're still kind of hitting the same line you were all race and making time, that's remarkable from Tate Lytle, which I mean, I if there's anybody that would be able to do it, I wouldn't look past Tate Lytle to be the first one to do it. So he's definitely somebody that has the ability and the talent. And I mean, the guy that's sitting right behind him too, Matthew Weeks, is no slouch either. I feel like we talk about it a lot. His ability to push and save tire at the same time and kind of manage everything. As Jonathan Cutlip has a huge wiggle out of 3 and 4.
Yeah, you wonder how much longer the rear tires of that 5 car are going to be able to hold off for. Speaking of holding on, the shift battle for the final stage points is still waging. Wilkinson trying desperately to get by his teammate so he can go and find his other teammate for the final point. as Borges is all over the back of Gavin Higgins as we are 1 lap to go in stage 1.
Seems like Borges is a little bit quicker than Higgins, but not able to find a way to get around him, trying to make some momentum happen here. He's going to peek underneath him in 1 and 2. Have to see what comes of that. Oh, here comes Trey Idson right to the back bumper of his teammate.
Trey trying to make a last-ditch effort. So far, it doesn't look like it's going to work. Meanwhile, coming off of turn 4, stage winner, it's going to be Tate Lytle. From the back to the front. What a drive.
Absolutely insane.
Matthew Weeks, Scott Eckridge, Jonathan Cutlip, Scott Krupp, Tyler Popp, just you were seeing Miss Chad Frankenfield, Gavin Higgins, and Ryan Borges, your stage point scorers. But now the question is, when do we get the pit stops? I imagine people are going to do everything they can to try to stretch it to lap 40. I think. We don't have the fuel numbers, so, or at least I don't have the fuel numbers, so I assume they can make it to lap 40 and try to turn it into a 1-stop.
Yeah, I feel like that almost has to be the mark that these guys are looking for. You see Jacob Adams, he's going to be the first contrarian here. He's going to pit right after the end of the stage, try to get a jump on everybody. And I think right now, especially if you're Tate Lytle, Matthew Weeks, you're doing okay on tire wear, so maybe you let somebody else try to get a jump on you, and you try to make it as long as you can. You don't want to be the first one to start the cycle, but I think halfway is probably the best option for these guys.
Absolutely, as Tate Lytle continues to drive away from Matthew Weeks. And Weeks is driven away from the rest of the top 5 in his own right. You see Scott Eckridge is starting to play around with lines. He's now running 1 lane lower than what he had been.
Somebody's been on the tail end of this top 5. Scott Crump been really patient in this opening part of the race. I think he's kind of just been biding his time, trying to see what he can do, maybe trying to make sure he can get to lap 40. You see he's going to look underneath the 5 of Jonathan Cutlip, who's sliding around on that middle groove. Scott Eckridge going to go to the bottom, have to wash all the way up to the wall on the exit. That's going to kind of kill his momentum, but he's going to clear the 5 for now. Scott Crump way to the inside of Jonathan Cutlip as we head towards turns 1 and 2.
Whoa, as you see Scott Eckridge cutting the nose off of Scott Crump. And Scott Crump has already voiced his displeasure on that. Oh, meanwhile, oh no, we're raking in the back. Gavin Hibbs is around. Well, see Hibbs battling with Eidson and Jeff Green. See contact between Trey and Gavin. The 95 gets out of shape, down into the 2, back up the racetrack, into the wall and around.
Yeah, and I think that's just a factor of that tire wear. You know, I feel like he definitely kind of got towards the back of Trey Eidson there, and once you're unsettled, especially if your rear tires are kind of already cooked, like it seems like everybody's struggling with, it's not going to be easy to get that thing back up under you, especially in that crossover. So probably going to cut a lot of these guys' plans to get to halfway short, but there's no choice now. Everybody's coming down here for 4 fresh good years and a full tank of gas.
Yeah, and now the question is that this might become a fuel mileage race depending on how long you could have stretched it. We might be seeing a lot of guys play that fuel game.
Absolutely.
We're going to go ahead and take our first break of the night, and we'll be back shortly.
Tickets are on sale now for the 10th Bomarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Sunday, June 7th features 3 huge races: the USAC Classic, Firestone Indy Next, and the night prime time NTT IndyCar Series race. Enjoy a weekend of cars, concerts, camping, food, and fun. The stars of the Indy 500 are coming to St. Louis. Get your tickets now and save big at www.raceway.com.
Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. So don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
This is Bobby Bolin from Tom Bolin Ford, and I have huge news for you. Right now, we are offering interest rates as low as 3.99 on most of our used cars. That's right, 3.99 happening right now. And it gets even better. These used vehicles come with the Bolin Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, giving you protection for the long haul. This is your chance to save big with incredible rates and shop our wide variety of trucks, vans, SUVs, and cars. Only at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Heck of a deal!
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class education combining the very best racing instruction and education.
All right, we are back, and we are already 1 to green here. And you see Matthew Weeks was able to jump Tate Lytle on pit road. But now let's see what Tate's going to do now that he only has to gain 1 spot to get to the lead and not 35.
Have to imagine that that's going to mean he's going to have a lot more tire left, and that might spell some bad news for this field, honestly. I think if Tate can pass 35 cars and still be that competitive, if he doesn't have to pass anybody and he can kind of focus on tire saving, they might be in for a world of hurt.
Yeah. Gotta replay something with Mark Rabilis. Okay. Oh. Perhaps connection issues for the 99, but meanwhile the pace car has made the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Matthew Weeks will lead us back to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back on our way at Michigan. Huge jump from Weeks, and now Tate's going to have to hold off Eckridge as we go down into turn 1. Eckridge this time on the inside trying to make pace. Not able to clear Tate. Lytle holds strong on the outside. Eckridge trying once again. He's clear for the moment as you see Tate get loose. And that will allow Eckridge to clear. We're going to be 3, almost 4 wide here. As here comes Chad.
Ooh, Eckridge not wanting the top anymore. He's going to look to the bottom. They're packing up behind him. Scott Crump going to get loose.
Scott Crump into going, and Chad's going to help him save it.
Holy mackerel.
Oh, no, God.
Oh, no.
Crump is involved. And nabbed it. Oh, Hibbs, Tommy Ryan. Oh, yeah. I can't say I'm surprised with how much everyone was scattering right there. Poor Scott Crump, he had it saved, and then somehow gets involved in this big wreck somehow.
Oh. Yeah, so Scott was able to get it gathered back up. You see they're 5 wide there for the moment. A little bit of contact with Tommy Ryan. That's going to send him into an abnett. And that's going to kind of wrap everybody up right there. Kind of an accordion effect. Started with Scott getting loose. Put your eyes on Andrew Rucker here. Scott's going to look fine for a second. You'll see it on the right side of your screen, maybe. Gavin's actually going to fade a little bit too far down. But pretty heavy contact with Andrew Rucker into the back of that Scott Crump machine.
Lord. Scott Crump is not going to be able to sit down for a week. That was some tough rear end contact.
Get on board with him here. Can't really. I mean, he could see it, but I think at that point, you know, where are you really going to go? I mean, there's cars everywhere. You can't go to the bottom. You could probably hit the brakes, but I think he was locking him up pretty good, trying to get it woed.
Yeah, it's hard to really figure out where he tried to check up there. But yeah, that's a bad one, and Gavin Hibbs, unfortunately, just complete innocent bystander, almost had it missed until, oh gosh.
Going to bring him up as a driver who had that contact before but didn't have a lot of damage, but he has a lot of damage now.
And speaking of damage, I just saw there's some front-end damage on the 27 of Trey Eitzen. Significant front damage.
A little center punched for sure. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I could see exactly where that happened. When Scott Crump got loose, went up the racetrack and kind of found the rear end of Chad Frankenfield. Went to push him, and that's where that damage came from. It wasn't even like it was a center push. Unfortunately, it's kind of center punched the nose of Trey Eitzen there, so that's going to be something to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, and oddly enough, that's worse damage than what Chad has.
Yeah, like it was a square push, which is concerning because, like, I feel like if anybody would have got damage out of that, it would have been Chad. But yeah, no, it was lined up. I don't know exactly how the center punch could have happened. I would understand if it was left rear or right rear, but it was dead center, so that's a little puzzling.
Yep, the good old iRacing damage model. Meanwhile, of course, there's a few people that are unhappy with that wreck and what happened and so on and so forth.
I mean, yeah, there's always going to be some upset folks, but I kind of just a tricky situation there. I know when one accident happens, you know, you kind of want to be upset at the person that caused the first one, but then the accordion happens and there's not a whole lot that can really be done. Everybody's just trying to figure out the best way through the situation, and sometimes nothing falls the way that it should. So one of those FAFO moments, as we call them.
Yep. Meanwhile, we are 1 to green and just about ready to get back going, and this is going to help out those who weren't entirely sure about the fuel mileage. That's something that we didn't get a chance to talk about. It was going to be pretty close with where that caution came out, but that's going to help everyone stretch it a little further. So we might be good to go here on out as the pace car is getting ready to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And Matthew Weeks is going to once again bring us back to the restart zone. Green means go. We are back underway at Michigan. See, Weeks chose the outside this time. Good jump from Eckridge, though, but not able to jump up in front of Tyler Pop. He's going to do so now. Big move from Tate, driving down, hugging the yellow line, trying to get past Pop, trying to get to the inside of Eckridge, and he will. John trying to draft up and fill that space, trying to keep Tate from jumping up, but meanwhile, Scott Eckridge jumps down to the inside of Weeks. And they're still going to be side by side off of 4. Here comes Tyler Pop with the momentum.
Get right up to the back bumper. Matthew Weeks put a little pressure on him. Tate Lytle all over Scott Eckridge now. And this is a completely different tune from Scott Eckridge. He was all over the top. Now he's on the bottom. It makes me wonder if he saw something on the tire where he didn't like. He's going to lose a spot to Jonathan Cutlip here, I think, with the draft that Tyler Pop's given him.
Yeah, that's a significant change, like you said, from what he was doing in that first stage. Because now Weeks running the yellow line. Oh, we got cars going around! Oh, it's a big one!
Oh, no!
Scott Crump almost over! My goodness!
Oh!
Wow,
okay.
Big move
Yikes.
from Rob Mooney. And then Rob gets loose in front of Smith. Nowhere for Hunter Smith to go. Randy Yoakum involved, Tommy Ryan, and Scott Crump. Look at that. Huge hit from Jeff Green. The rear of that 90 car was pointing in the air. Good God.
I think he might have completely broke out the back glass of Tommy Ryan's car. Jeff Green just, truthfully, kind of looks like he just wanted to be part of the wreck too, to be honest with you. But
now we're on board with the 64.
that's terrifying. Just, he's not even near it, but you can still see Scott Crump go into the air on his nose. That's horrible.
Yeah, like everyone seeing Ryan Preece's big barrel roll at Daytona all the way from the main grandstands at the other side of the track. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be back shortly.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Tickets for the 2026 Season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bomarito Automotive Group 500, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
This is Bobby Bolin from Tom Bolin Ford, and I have huge news for you. Right now, we are offering interest rates as low as 3.99 on most of our used cars. That's right, 3.99 happening right now. And it gets even better. These used vehicles come with the Bolin Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, giving you protection for the long haul. This is your chance to save big with incredible rates and shop our wide variety of trucks, vans, SUVs, and cars. Only at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
The Lucas Oil School of Racing. Simply stated, we are the professional ranks where the quality of the equipment often dictates the outcomes, and all of our cars are designed to perform and race as close as humanly possible. None of our competitors will have an advantage from engineering tactics. Rather, you will compete on a completely level field with a score of immensely talented up-and-coming drivers, all pushing each other to reach their new heights in their respective pursuit in becoming a professional race car driver. Every year, our top-performing graduates move on to the professional racing ladders of IndyCar, F1, and IMSA. Whether drivers compete in 1 or 2 seasons of our series, when they are ready to move on, they are ready to move. The training you receive in our school is an unmatched, unforgettable, first-class education combining the very best racing instruction and education.
All right, we are back. We are 1 to green, and we are just about ready to get back going. Heavy discussions on appeals right now, but we see the pace car making the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Matthew Weeks will lead us back to the restart zone. Green means going where back it away at Michigan. This time, Matthew Weeks back to the inside with his lane choice. He's already got a huge gap back as we go on down into turn 1. Oh, we might be 3 wide for P2. Eckridge is just barely going to shut the door on Tyler Popp. See Popp trying to hold on. He's going to lose the spot to Eckridge, and here comes Tate. Eckridge going way low, going defensive.
Popp had a huge run. Wasn't able to do too much with it. Tate Lytle had a huge push from Gavin Higgins going into 1 and 2. Jesse Racimus now to the outside of Higgins as Higgins gets loose.
Oh man, you have to imagine Tyler Popp is not happy with that. As now Popp tries the inside as they're 3 wide behind. Tom Bourne working the high lane. Trying to get the run off of Chad. Oh boy. Uh-oh, and now Chad Frankenfield reporting temperature issues from that front end damage.
Oh, out front, Scott Eckridge, huge run on Weeks.
Yes, sir. Scott sends it on down into the corner, and he's going to clear Weeks for now. Matt fighting back on the outside, and Eckridge cuts him off on exit. Matt trying to see if he can pull the crossover. He might have him here. Eckridge back up. Oh, we got Seth Rollins going around. Oh, and a big impact for Jeff Ryan. See, 3 wide here, turn 1.
Oh,
Contact.
God, what a hit for Jeff Ryan. I think that maybe just a little bit of a lapse in judgment for Seth there. Maybe not expecting Ryan to maybe go that high, maybe expecting him more on the yellow, but I don't think there's a whole lot of room there for Jeff really anyways, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you see Jeff hold that seam. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, you see that 3 car doesn't move hardly at all. Yeah, that might be night done. No meatball for Jeff Ryan, surprisingly.
Which is really wild because of just the amount of force that he had into that outside wall. I thought that would have been engine blown automatically. It
right?
did not look good. See Justin Vandermarl, he was, I think, just behind this incident. Yeah, kind of use him as a gauge here. Yeah, I think that's probably really going to be just a pretty simple call there. I think that Seth was maybe expecting him not to be there, and or at least maybe not have that much of a run into the corner, so he might have cleared him before then, but certainly a lot more room to the outside of Seth Rawls than there was to the inside of Jeff Ryan, so I would have to imagine tally Seth Rawls for that one.
Oh, apparently Matthew Weeks speeding in pit road.
That's definitely not what he was looking for.
So apparently it might have been from a bump from someone behind that put him over the speed limit. So Race Control is looking into that right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big shot. And I mean, looking at it like this, as a driver, in a driver's perspective, I guess, if you're the leader and you have that big of a gap and you're kind of waiting to slow down that late, the guy behind you is going to be trying to break with you. And looking at it, I think that's 58 mile an hour for Matthew Weeks right there after the cone. So, it's risky, right? Because you want to maximize your gap on pit road, but I don't know.
Yeah, Scott Eckridge took accountability for that, and he's been given an EOL too. So I think that is going to majorly shake up this race, because I believe that's going to be. I think we might have.
I think we actually might have just had no tire stops. I see Sam Boutwell.
Oh, we did. Chris Wright, of course, playing his own strategy. Fuel only. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out for him.
I believe that puts Tyler Pop being the newest on fresh tires in 8th, Gavin Higgins 9th, Tate Lytle 10th. That's definitely going to be a shake-up there. About 26 laps to go when you hit the line. So certainly I think if you're Tate Lytle here, you kind of know what you did with your tires and what you were able to do. Passing 35 cars, you only got to pass 9, and you got less laps. I think we're going to see Tate Lytle aggressive as always here.
Absolutely. As we see the pace car get ready to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And Jonathan Cutlip will lead us back to the restart zone. Greenies go. We're back underway at Michigan. Cutlip with the big run all by himself. You see the 47 to Sam Boutwell sliding up.
Fight to Jesse Racimus. Nothing happening yet.
Oh boy.
Oh, Jeff Ryan going to play a factor.
Yeah, lap car. Jeff Ryan trying to nurse it back. Oh boy. See Chris Wright so far doing a good job hanging on with those old tires. Michael Hosick goes around. Whoa! Big moment for Trey Eitzen, you saw. And I think Hosick had a moment of his own as we are now 3 wide for second.
Oh, Trey Eitzen, big loose, big wiggle.
Oh, and another big wiggle for Racemus.
Looking at the nose of Trey Eitzen, no damage, so he was able to get that damage fixed. However, I think right now their biggest ordeal, they need to sort this out. These guys that stayed out on tires or on fuel only. Tyler Popp is right there. He's about to blow the doors off of Jesse Racemus and a Leighton Norgard. Tate Lytle not too far behind him. These guys are not in the best spot right now.
No, they are not. As continuing to be 3 wide.
Oh, 4 wide. Tyler Popp on the bottom.
No.
A huge run.
Oh, dear.
Tate's going to make it maybe 5 wide.
5 wide. This is not going to end well. Oh, I think we had some people back out of it, thankfully.
Oh, Tyler Popp, big wiggle on the bottom. The push from Tate Lytle.
And now Jesse Racemus up into P3. Oh, good Lord. I don't know how many wide we are right now.
Have you ever?
No, I've never. Oh, boy. 3 wide for 4th. The late Norgard trying to hold these two off. Pop going to clear Norgard for now. Tate trying to do the same. Norgard getting shoved by Higgins, and now here comes Gavin looking to the inside. Oh, Higgins all over the back of Tate Lytle, almost pushed him through the corner.
Guys are fighting like homeless dogs for leftover scraps, and they don't even care. Gavin Higgins now gonna have a run on a Leighton Norgard. Mark Rebelos on the apron.
He's got front row seats for this. Good Lord. Pop gonna clear Hosick. Oh, Michael just puts himself right in between Pop and Lytle. Here comes Tate with a big move. Hosick trying to hold on, and he won't. Tate clears. Oh, Hosick almost got to the wall. Trying to keep his foot in it. Meanwhile, Matthew Weeks is already back to P10 right now. Matt saw what Tate did in the first stage and said, hold my beer. He's up into the top 10.
These guys kind of just made it not easy, but when they stack up like that, there's a lot of ground to be made up quickly. You see him working to the inside of a Leighton Norgard now for the 9th position.
Yeah, and all these cars on different strategies, you know, kind of slowing up, quote unquote, the other cars on the fresher tires. This is, that really helped Weeks, because that's keeping them from going forward and allowing him to catch up while they make their way through. As Tyler Popp and Tate Lytle have both got by Trey Eitzen. Jesse Racemus has run down Jonathan Cutlip.
Looking at 19 to go here. I know we talked about Tyler Popp a lot during that Las Vegas race, but he's been in the top 5, but I wouldn't say he's really been fighting for the lead. I think he might be getting himself a new nickname here. I think we're looking at a closer maybe in Tyler Popp with the way he keeps getting these late race runs.
Yeah, but the current closer, Matthew Weeks, says, hold on, buckaroo. Weeks all over the back of Brandon Wilkinson trying to push him through as Weeks is going to get by Hosick. See Wilkinson go defensive on Weeks as he battles Gavin Higgins. Weeks trying to figure out what line he's going to take. Goes up into the middle, trying to get to the outside of Wilkinson. He will. Meanwhile, it is a 4-way scrap for the lead. Racemus is we're almost 3 wide. Tate and Pop to the inside of Jesse Racemus. Oh, but they're not going to clear. This is going to be a huge advantage to Jesse as he also has the draft from Cutlip. Tate backs out. Tyler Popp does not. He stays to the inside of Jesse, and he's pushing up the racetrack a little bit. Jesse hanging on. And he holds on. Meanwhile, Matthew Weeks up into P6. Oh, big defensive move. Pop on the Lidls. We're 3 wide for P2 once again. Jesse keeps it wound up, trying to hold on. And once again, we stay 3 wide off of the corner. Jesse with the draft to Cutlip. Matthew Weeks up into the top 5. And now he's trying to run these 4 down as they continue throwing haymakers on each other. This is exactly what Matthew Weeks needs.
They are
Whoa, Tate
still
lines up a little bit. Oh, he leads on the 13. Pop backs out of it. And now Tate is side by side with Jesse.
These guys, we got a lap car. I think it's Randy Yoakum. He's going to play a factor here. Everybody's going to go a lot higher. Tate's going to be able to stick it on the bottom. He's going to be pretty much way up the inside of Jesse Racecraft, maybe to the inside of Jonathan Cutlip.
Tate, he was ahead of Jesse, but couldn't get ahead of Cutlip, and now he might be behind Jesse once again. He might have the 70 done and dusted. Yes, he will, but the 5 continues to battle. Meanwhile, Weeks is creeping in half a second behind this 4-way battle for the lead. Meanwhile, Tate Lytle, he's going to clear. Tate Lytle back to the lead of this race. Here comes Cutlip trying to take it back. He goes to the inside. He jumps back to the outside, and he's going to have the space. Lytle trying to shut the door. But Cutlip cannot hold on to the track position. And Tate starting to pull away.
Big wiggle from Racecraft.
As they all go by the lap car of Tommy Ryan. Matthew Weeks agonizingly close. While Scott Eckridge, his recovery run, he's back up to P8 right now.
You're Matthew Weeks, you're hoping, maybe just wondering why couldn't that go on a little bit longer. He made up so much ground when they were 3 wide fighting behind Jonathan Cutlip, and now he's just kind of having to watch Tate drive away, because even if he was able to get to this group, he has to work around him, and I think that's going to be the biggest struggle for him.
Yeah, I think if you're Weeks, you're absolutely doing the caution dance right now. As he's towing Brandon Wilkinson up to these 3. And Pop and Racecraft, they've been battling side by side for the last 3 laps. Slowly but steadily bringing Weeks into this fight.
Oh, contact Jesse Racecraft on the outside wall.
That is hard contact for Jesse Racecraft. He is losing a lot of speed and a lot of spots right now. Down into P7. Meanwhile, that helps Matthew Weeks. 1 less car he's got to get past. But time is running out. He is a second behind Tate Lytle right now.
We're working, coming to 10 laps to go this time by. Not a whole lot of time. I think he's going to have a yellow. I think even if something catastrophic were to happen that gets him around these 2 quickly, that about a second gap is going to be hard to cut down. See Tyler Pop, Jonathan Cutlip running each other really hard for the second spot. Pop not able to hold on, even on those significantly fresher tires than Jonathan Cutlip on the bottom.
Yeah, you've seen the 13 just start to push up the racetrack in his last few side-by-side battles. Meanwhile, a little further back, we got a pretty big scrap between Talon, Campbell, and Tom Bourne. Whoa! Oh! Little bit of contact.
Could have been.
That it was. Oh, and Harry's going to jump up in front of Gerald. Tom trying to shove Gerald along. Now he jumps to the inside, trying to follow Ryan Borges through. While Scott Crump has officially left the building. Not a surprise considering how much damage that 90 car had.
Back out front. Weeks gets around Pop. Now all over the back bumper, Jonathan Cutlip. That gap is still right at a second. Looking at 8 to go this time by. I think if he's going to get a yellow, it's going to have to be that group that we were just watching with how hard those guys are racing. But it's his only hope at the moment.
Well, they were nearly 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, Gerald almost getting into the back of Ryan Borges. Oh, Gerald's big sideways. Oh, and Paul Mikolajczyk is in the wall just ahead. Oh, they are battling agonizingly close to that caution for Matthew Weeks. Weeks, who's battling Cutlip for P2.
By side still. Weeks got the top. Tyler Pop maybe looking to still have a say in it. I think if Weeks can get this momentum off the corner, he'll be clear of Jonathan Cutlip by the time we get to 3 and 4. Clear now.
And he's still got the draft. Tate Lytle. Time's running out, but there's still some. We're going to be 6 laps to go when we get back to the start-finish line.
Another lap car. It's still Jeff Ryan going to make Tate Lytle shuffle to the outside lane momentarily. He's now going to put that. Oh, he's going to get right in the way of Matthew Weeks. I don't think it's going to slow him down enough. Maybe a little. Nothing too bad. I'm sure Weeks is not going to be happy about that.
Yeah. Weeks is just a smidge quicker, but coming to 5 to go, he's got to be a lot more than just a smidge.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to look at that gap on lap 73. That's got to be your target for these next couple. You've got to get a 10th and some change. See right there, only 0.06 of a second. It's not enough. Nowhere near enough.
And if you're Tate, you do not want that 11 car getting to your rear bumper, because after Vegas, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised with a little bump and grind.
Yeah, no, I know Matthew Weeks was not happy. These guys, former teammates, they race each other hard a lot, and I know Tate was a little frustrated with Weeks making that mistake, but at the end of the day, Matthew Weeks does not care if it's car 56 who just took him out of contention for a win, and a win that was pretty easily Matthew Weeks. If you ask me, I would not expect anything less than to maybe see the 56 get roughed up here if Matthew Weeks gets to him.
Absolutely. Oh, we got Trey Eidson big sideways on the apron. He's going to gather it up, though. Meanwhile, Chad and Gerald are fighting side by side. Oh.
Little bit of a joust of position there. You see Trey Eidson still struggling to get that thing back under control. Gavin Higgins putting him under a ton of pressure.
Oh. Oh, boy. Weeks is continuing to do the caution dance. They're continuing to tease that it's coming. But it needs to happen ASAP as we are 2 laps to go from Michigan.
Ooh.
We're seeing the battles now. It's Frank Fody to the inside of Chad Frankenfield. They're 3 wide with the lap car. They're racing hard, but for Matthew Weeks, they are not racing hard enough. He's coming off of turn 4. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go from Michigan. We've seen Tate Lytle have some crazy performances in the past here on the Elite Racing Network. I don't know how many times I've seen that 56 car win a race after being involved in an incident, but this is one of the most impressive drives we have seen, starting from the very last row of the grid all the way in 36. Jumped up to the front. He won the stage, and now coming off of turn 4, heading to the checkered. He's going to win the whole thing. Tate Lytle wins at Michigan. Matthew Weeks just needed 1 more lap. See Tate celebrating with a drift through the grass. What a race.
You know, I did say last to first and 80 laps is impressive. How about a last to first in 30 and in 80? I mean, he didn't just have the short run speed. He had all the speed he needed there to get that last 20 laps and work through it nice and slow. You see Harrison Talent get him a bump. Justin Vandermeer with a huge one.
Yeah, that is just crazy. Yeah. As there he goes, shooting through the grass. As Tate continues to burn it down, we're going to go ahead and take our last break of the night. We'll be back with our top 3.
Tickets are on sale now for the 10th Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Sunday, June 7th features 3 huge races. The USAC Classic, Firestone Indy next, and the only Sunday night prime time NTT IndyCar Series race. Enjoy a weekend of cars, concerts, camping, food, and fun. The stars of the Indy 500 are coming to St. Louis. Get your tickets now and save big at WWTRaceway.com.
Alrighty, we are back and we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and talk to our race winner first. Tate, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Loud and clear. How we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. How about that one? Definitely a pretty clean and straightforward drive. Definitely not something crazy you were having to come back from. Just a garden variety drive there, eh?
Yeah, I don't know how many cars we passed, but it was a lot. Caught the wall on qualifying. Would have qualified 5th otherwise. I was just kind of hoping like maybe I'll get top 10, get some stage points. And it's like lap 15. I'm like, dude, we might win the stage if the tires hang on. And somehow, some way they did. And I mean, I found a line there on the bottom that no one else was really using. I don't know if it was just nice and cool down there or what, because it wasn't quite there at the end of the race after everyone else started using it. And we were going to the front, baby.
Yeah, that was just unbelievable. Like that, being able to win the stage after starting P last, like as a driver, how does that make you feel? Because that's kind of the dream of all of us to be able to pull off something that crazy.
I mean, every once in a while, you find a line that's just a little bit better than what everyone else is running, and you got like 2/10 on them. And I'm telling you, like, this is once every 2 years where it happens. I know John had it at like Kansas in a B car a couple seasons ago. Obviously, those pro guys don't count. For out of the people that know that grass is green, it happens like once every 2 years. And I don't know, man. I loaded into qualifying. Qualifying was first laps because I got home right at 4:30. And yeah, I don't know. It felt good. Everyone was saying it's loose. So I was like, well, I'm just going to favor the bottom, especially down there in 3 and 4. You hit that hook that yellow line and get a good drive off, and have the shorter route. And somehow I don't know. It worked out. Then this cautions kind of threw in there. Weeks getting a speeding penalty kind of helped because I think out of everyone else, he was the best. And I think had we been on equal footing there at the end, it was probably just going to be whoever had the track position. And he got pretty close. I was thinking about. I was like, how close do I want to let this get? Because I knew if he got close enough at 3 and 4, I was probably going to finish about 28th and have a sore shoulder. So. But glad it didn't happen that way. Shout out to Bojo for the sick paint scheme. Quick shifts. Shout out to Tyler Fody. I see he's texting me right now. That was for you, Fody. All for you, Big Daddy. Shout out to my dad, Jack Louise. And yep, I got to go get my kids, so I'll see you guys in a week.
All right, we appreciate you, Tate. Hopefully we are talking to you again next week.
Hopefully under similar circumstances.
All right, there is your race winner, Tate Lytle, and we'll toss it to Ty to talk to our runner-up.
I think Cutlip actually DM'd me about needing to go next, if that was okay.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take our third place finisher then. John, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, that was a heck of a run there. Take us through your night. It was a pretty solid performance all the way around for you.
Yeah, it was a decent night. A little bit of a learning experience. Just trying to apply some things that I'm still struggling just a little bit on, but getting a little better at it. I'm just trying to constantly get the weight onto the front end of the car and just see what I can do with that because I just naturally land on the right rear and it hurts me sometimes in certain situations. And I've just been trying to explore that side of the car and just, get a little bit more speed just to have it in the toolbox. But yeah, it was a pretty uneventful night. Unfortunately, the contact with Scott kind of involved a lot of cars. Like, I don't think it was on either one of us. Just like one of those deals. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate with how that played out.
Yeah, it was definitely a heck of a battle for the lead there at the end with you, Jesse, Pop, and Tate just throwing haymakers at each other for a while there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good battle. I didn't think that having a few lap older tires was going to put us at that much of a disadvantage, but they're able just to carry center speed a lot more than we were. And when the run first started, I was just trying to stay on the bottom just to give my tires as much life as I could, like before they got to me. And unfortunately, I just couldn't really equalize the tires out enough. It was just either going to be one of those situations where it had to turn into a caution fest or one last caution right after we pitted just to run to the end. I'm not sure if they were going to be good on fuel, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than what it ended up being.
Absolutely. Well, it was a another great performance for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Shout outs to Dave, you, James Watson, and Ty. You guys do a phenomenal job week in and week out. It's always fun just coming up here after the race and talking to you guys. You make it fun for me. Shout out to Race TPI. Shout out to Channel 199 Racecraft, my team over here. It's always super fun hanging out with them, the Proj guys, and fueled up. Yeah. Shout out to my mom. She watches every race. I'm sure she enjoyed watching tonight. And shout out to the Wadsworth family. That they've been having a rough time, to say the least. But my thoughts are with them. Thoughts and all my love to them. But yeah, I'm excited for Road to Pro tomorrow. I feel like we have a good piece for tomorrow night, and hopefully, I can show out in that.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, John, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yep. Have a good night.
Alrighty, and now it's going to be Ty talking to our runner-up tonight.
Matthew, it's time to booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I know you had a really dominant run there. I know you obviously took the pole, and you and Tate were fighting for most laps led there at the end. I think you were 24, he was 25. Ultimately, that pit road penalty is going to kind of put a damper on it, and you're going to be probably look like one lap too short. But go ahead and run us through your race, buddy.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, man. As soon as we hit the line, if I had one more lap, I think I would have got him. But it was a good race. I felt pretty good. I was surprised I put it on pole, but I mean, I say that, but not really. It's like for some reason I just have a knack for this track. Even back when we raced on console, 10, 12 years ago. It was just one of those tracks that I always went to. I would win the race, and we got on here, and I've won here once, but I haven't won since I won that first time, and back in 2021 in the Cup Series. I think that was like my first ever win in Elite, and we've been close. And I mean, we bring the speed. We felt good. Like I said, qualify pole. I took care of it real easy, but I didn't take care of enough when Tate passed me. I noticed I burnt my rear a little too much, and after that, it was just trying to manage. And then I got a speed penalty on entry where I forget who it was. I think it was Elkridge or whatever bumped me on entry, and it bumped me up to 58. And then it was an accident on his part. It wasn't his fault. I was trying to get in there quick and get a little gap, so it was probably like 50% my fault, 50% his. I have to look at it again, and then driving through the field, I was worried. I mean, I was starting 21st. I knew some guys stayed out, and there's been, when you go back there, it's kind of crazy because everyone's just take a lot more than what they really should. And I was surprised the bottom worked that well, and it seemed to help. I was just sending it down to the bottom 3 wide and making moves. I know some guys let me go, so I appreciate that, and finished good. So we're starting to get back where we need to be. I know the first couple of races sucked, and Vegas was just trying to get that out of my mind, but right now we're rolling good, so we just got to keep it going.
Yeah, I know you said you wanted to get Vegas out of your mind, but obviously knowing the situation that happened at Vegas, was that something that was maybe fueling you to want to get up there and challenge Tate a little bit more, knowing the situation that you guys were in there?
Yeah, I wanted to go up there and pass him. I want to go up there and pass him because in his mind he thinks I purposely hit him in 1 and 2 when I passed him earlier at Vegas, and which I didn't. It was a total accident, and I hit the bump and I slid up maybe half a car and touched him. And then we seen what happened late in the race where he just pretty much put me in a bad spot, which caused me to wreck and in that race. So yeah, I was gonna go up there and I wasn't gonna do anything. I was just gonna pass him straight up, beat him, and be like, all right, good race, move on. But we didn't get it, but we got close enough. So I mean, a podium finish, so I'll still take it. Good points day. We got stage points, so that's really the main goal right now.
All right, buddy. Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out, give thanks to?
Shout out to you guys at the booth, man. You James and Utah, man, y'all knocking it out of the park. I love going back and watching these Xfinity races. Can't wait to go back and watch the race tonight. Vegas is always good, and I know we had some cautions, but that long run was fun. Actually driving through the field, I know I was mad at the beginning, but it was kind of enjoyable. Shout out to all my boys at Pro Edge. Think maybe I was like one, maybe two of us here tonight, which sucks. But I know Jesse was up there. He was running good, and he kind of got loose on the exit 2 and scraped the wall a little bit, which killed his good run. But man, it's good to see him getting that bad luck away and starting to get where he actually needs to be. Because we say it all the time, he has the worst luck in elite. And shout out to John up there, Channel 199. We're good friends, and we always hang out in Discord all the time. And we raced hard right there. Shout out to Tate for the win. So that's what fueled up. The Pro Edge guys, Channel 199, Lake Norman, since I think Tate was the only one there or up there race with us. So shout out to Tate on that, and Chad for running the league, and all the sponsors that's a part of it, and my buddy Justin Vandermeer, who paints all these schemes, and he knocked it out of the park with this silver Xfinity O'Reilly car, I should say, scheme. It's probably my favorite. It looks so good on track. So hit him up at JV Designs on Twitter, and he'll paint you a masterpiece, man. And everyone that watched the race, man, I hope y'all enjoyed it. That was a good
All right, buddy. Well, we will let you go and celebrate and debrief, and hopefully we get to hear from you next week.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too, buddy. That was Matthew Weeks, your runner-up, and James. I mean, that was a fantastic race tonight. I have to say, even with the yellows and the little bit of drama we had, I think the drama made it that much sweeter.
Absolutely. We saw some crazy drives from both Weeks and Lytle, both essentially having to pull the first challenge and ending up P1 and P2, and Jonathan Cutlip with another very solid P3. Just a fantastic race all around. I don't think you can ask for much more as a broadcaster and as fan. But with that, I believe it's time we get the heck on out of here. From our broadcast partners, Ty McIntosh and Dave Huckleberry, I'm James Watson, bidding you adieu till next week. Good night, everyone.